Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I chair the Senate Judiciary Committee, and it just happened to adjourn in time for me to make this hearing, and I'm glad to be here. I'd like to say to all the witnesses, the GAO noted last year that the Pentagon is facing the most challenging recruitment environment in 50 years. The Army, for example, has especially struggled to meet recruitment goals. The service missed its in-strength number by 15,000, or 25% in fiscal year 2022. I'm glad to see this budget request increases competitive compensation and funding for recruitment marketing programs, as well as improving quality of life for current service members. So I'd like to ask you if you would tell me what the impact has been on the Guard and Reserve of this recruiting challenge. Open.
Senator, I'll start with the National Guard. So when you look at where we are today, our recruiters, particularly on the Army side, have really been able to adjust to the current environment. And we've seen a steady increase in our recruiting abilities. In fact, we've been over 100% the last 3 months. And right now, the Army National Guard is on path to meet our end strength by the end of the fiscal year. In terms of the Air National Guard, we're a little bit challenging environment. We look at to be at about 97% of our authorized end strength by the end of the year. But we have seen very positive increases, especially over last year. Now, I'm not declaring victory, but I'm saying right now, all the trends are very positive, and we hope to continue those into the new year and make sure we maintain our Army National Guard authorized end strength and reach our Air National Guard authorized end strength.
Tell me what the elements are that you think are most persuasive for those who are enlisting.
For those, and Senator, thank you for the question. When I go across the 54, I visit with recruiters everywhere I go. Educational benefits are one of the first things they bring up. The other one is benefits such as health care. What they're finding in the current environment to be competitive is many companies are now offering benefits that they didn't before, medical, educational benefits. And so the competition out there for the same individuals is getting much stronger. And then also internally, we're working with our own systems, and that is reducing the time it does to get personnel to get waivers, and also addressing policies that are preventing some folks from serving.
Any of the other members of the panel have a comment?
Yeah, Senator, I think it's important to realize the math component here. The population that we're all trying to recruit right now is significantly smaller among Gen Z than the millennials. So that's a fact we have to deal with. But also the propensity to serve has diminished. And that's all about us earning the confidence of the American people back that service is worthwhile. So it's a pretty holistic problem, but there is a math component as well. Thank you.
I'd like to just make a comment. I'm about to say something that is a secret. It's not classified, but I'm going to share it with you. We have 780,000 DACA recipients, people who are protected under DACA, many of whom want to serve this country where they grew up. There's an obstacle, Congress. We have not given them a pathway to citizenship. This should be a pathway. You ought to open up your opportunities. We should across the board in the military to dreamers and to DACA recipients who really want to serve this country and I think are genuine about it. For some reason, there's been a resistance. Perhaps it was the luxury of a lot of recruits and we didn't need others. But I would just tell you, I've met them, I know them. They made great sacrifices just to have this opportunity to wear the uniforms you're wearing today. And I hope that when you're in the highest levels of the Pentagon that you'll discuss this candidly. Your predecessors have not always been cooperative when I've raised this issue. There's a resistance because these folks are, quote, undocumented. They may not have been born here, but they love this country as much as any of us who pledge allegiance to that flag. So I hope you'll consider that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.